Monday evening to discuss the AFC North here with fellow Cincinnati Bengals fan, Caden Young. What are your expectations? Let's start off with the Cincinnati Bengals for this year. Just right off the bat, first couple words that come to your mind.
I'm expecting a top 5 offense and a top 20 defense. Low expectation for the defense there. Um, and I'm expecting a playoff berth. Maybe not a divisional title, but I do think they make the playoffs. We'll get into it more about why, and I'm excited that training camp is here.
Yeah, me too. I'm very, very excited. We got training camp rolling. We're just um what is it, 50-ish days, probably around there, a month and a half or so.
Friday, first game.
Friday, we have some preseason action with the Hall of Fame game. And yeah, I'm really, really juiced, ready to get this pod going. Jumping right into it, the AFC North is one of those divisions that not only, it's always one of the most tough, grinded out divisions, some of the best rivalries in football, but you also have some of the most talent in the game today, which we are going to talk about later with our top 5 players list. It was a tough one. It was a really, really tough one to make this list. But let's go ahead and hit some headlines first. I want to hit some headlines for the AFC North before we go into the player rankings, then our divisional
Hmm.
um, predictions. First of all, what do we think with the Cleveland Browns? Um, are we going to go Shadur? Are we going to go Gabriel? Is Joe Flacco going to get the nod to start off the year? Or Kenny Pickett? I don't know.
I think week one starter, in my opinion, will probably be Joe Flacco. Um,
Hmm.
I think he's been the QB1 in camp so far, and Pickett just went with a hamstring injury. I don't think they're too eager to get Gabriel or Shadur in there too quick. Um, I think this season for them is about figuring out if they have their guy, and I think they're going to give him time to develop. Maybe by week 8, we might see one of the rookies starting and figuring out if either one of them is the answer. And I think that's their season this year is not wins and losses. I think the feel is gonna be a lot like the Patriots last season, where it's like the expectation to win wasn't necessarily there. It was, can we see Drake May play well, which we did.
Yeah.
He played really well down the stretch, even though they weren't winning games, but he was still playing well, and they weren't losing because of him. And I think they have their franchise guy, so I think we'll see something very similar with the Browns. Um, no real playoff aspirations, in my opinion. They haven't really done the off season to gear it up to be that kind of year. So yeah, I think they're going to finish bottom of the pack. I know we're not doing that quite yet, but I do think they finish fourth in this division.
Yeah, I think it's a very interesting team because I do think they have a lot of talent. I like the defense coming into this year, especially with the addition of Mason Graham, uh, probably the best tackle in defensive or best defensive tackle in college football last year. Obviously, Miles Garrett bringing him back. You got some good linebacker depth. Denzel Ward. There's just a lot of fun players on that defensive end. But the QB position, a lot to worry about right there. And yeah, I think it's a very, very interesting situation over there in Cleveland. Well, Jerry Judy, I'm very interested in him for fantasy
Hmm.
purposes, selfishly this year, because the second half of last year he was great in fantasy. So I'm very curious to see if any of that will carry over. Um, but yeah, it's a very interesting concept. Let's move on to the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think the big headline for the Steelers has to be, well, there's a couple of big headlines, but let's start with Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah,
Probably his last season. This man's what, 42 years old now.
something around there.
Um,
Yeah.
he is extremely old, but even last year, probably a little bit of a letdown for his standards in terms of his career, but he's still pretty solid stats wise. And I have a lot of questions about if that's because he was actually decent or if it was just because he was very conservative in terms of touchdown to interception ratio. But how do you think the Aaron Rodgers fit will be in Pittsburgh?
I don't think it's going to be much different than what they've seen. I still think he's got some juice in the tank. We saw it last year. He can still spin the ball. Um,
Yeah.
so I think my concern is I don't really know what the Steelers are doing. They trade away Minka for Ramsey. They get Jonnu Smith, but they also trade away George Pickens, who is a pretty solid receiving option. I mean, they get DK. So it's hard to tell like what direction their front office is wanting to go in here. Um, I think it's one of those where it gives Aaron a shot to do something, but not spending too much capital on if it goes wrong would be my kind of assessment.
Yeah.
I think I did my season predictor a couple weeks ago where I'm getting everything for these podcasts that we're doing for all divisions, and I do have them going 9-8, and it wasn't scripted that way. But I do think there's a lot of games they can win, especially with that defense. And I think their offense is going to be okay, not bad. I think it'll be a good run game, good passing game, depending on what we can get out of DK. But I think I think an average season is going to be here for it. I think Aaron Rodgers is probably his last year. They might be trying to play for a quarterback in the future, but yeah, I think they'll be solid, and it's not going to be like a 9-8 bad team. It's going to be a 9-8 in almost every single game.
Yeah. For sure, man. I agree with you there. We'll go ahead and go through it here. Why not? Because we are talking about each. Let's go through the headlines first. We'll go players, then we'll go prediction on the season. Let's jump over to the Ravens, who brought in Jair Alexander from the Packers. I like that addition. I think this team is going to be really, really good again. And is it going to be a team that can compete for a Super Bowl, or is just really, really solid again all around and is able to win the division, or they make the playoffs? I couldn't see them necessarily missing the playoffs. I think they're too good to miss playoffs at this point. But I mean, it's the NFL, so who knows?
Yeah. Um, kind of torn on it. I want them to be terrible.
Yeah, I bet you do as a Bengals fan.
Yeah.
Shout out to some of our viewers right now: Baker Mayfield, Goaded, and Kira Woo.
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 Yeah,
Yeah.
Baltimore for me is I think they take the division. Um, I think they're going to be really good. I think they have a top two roster, top to bottom. That defense is amazing. The offense, in my opinion, is going to be really good. Even though I don't think D Hop's going to be much of a factor um, in terms of like 1,000 yard receiving, that kind of thing. I think it'll be a great third down target as well as I'm really curious to see what they do with Likely and Andrews.
Hmm.
Um, I mean, in that grouping, I don't know why you're just not going two tight ends every down, and those two big bodies, D Hop, and then giving the ball to Derrick Henry is pretty easy, and then letting Lamar do the work. So I think they're going to be very good, and I think they're going to win the division this year. Um, yeah,
Yeah, I really like the Ravens coming into the season again. Love Lamar, one of my favorite players in the league. I think he should have won MVP personally last year. Um, but I also really like this team. I like some of the defensive additions to this team. I really like Zay Flowers, one of the more exciting young receivers in this game. I think he's going to have a really good year this year. And the double tight end. Isaiah Likely
hmm
also on a contract year. I think he's going to be really good. And Mark Andrews as well. I think it's going to be very similar to last year. They're kind of 1A, 1B. And yeah, I like the Ravens a lot. I think they're going to make the playoffs. We'll get to them a little bit later. Let's go to the last team, Caden's Cincinnati Bengals. Biggest, or one of the bigger things out of this offseason was the Shamar Stewart holdout, first round pick. Finally getting that done, finally getting that set. As far as I can tell, I don't know if you have any more sources in that, but it's all set, right? He's ready to go.
yep. He went today.
Yeah.
Went yesterday. Yeah, it was a dumb situation. I don't want to spend too much time on it. I feel like he was getting some bad advice from his agent. As more information came out, it was the Bengals were trying something different for the Bengals standard. It's been pretty standard across the league, but they just hadn't done it yet.
Yeah.
So he was the first one. I think his agent wasn't giving him great advice, but both sides worked it out. He's back in camp. He looked pretty good today. Um, but yeah, I think if we can just, I think we'll get Trey done. It's just time. I think they're getting pretty close to an offer here, and if they can get that done, I mean that's an incredible offseason. I mean, extending Jamar and T and getting Hendrickson back, signing your first round draft pick, as crazy as it sounds, getting an extension with Gasicki done, like all of those things. I don't think we've seen in the past with this Bengals ownership. So I'm really high on them, especially offensively. I think they'll be able to go toe to toe with anybody in the league. And like I handed out at the top of this podcast, and a lot of media is saying it too. Like the defense doesn't need to be great; it just needs to be okay.
Yeah.
And from what I'm hearing, um, from like Twitter and like beat reporters and teammates, is the defense is feeling more energized, more juiced with new defensive coordinator, making things a little different, giving them more freedom. And I'm excited to see how that plays out in the regular season. Um, I don't want to think that it's all smoke and mirrors, but I mean, if they can get a solid defense back there, I don't see why they can't go 12-5 because they might be averaging 25 to 30 points a game.
Yeah. No, I would definitely agree with you. I really like the Bengals for this upcoming season because of the offense. And I think if their defense can be average, which I honestly don't think they're going to quite be there, but if they can
Yeah,
be like,
top 20. If you can get 20th,
if if they can be like slightly below average, I think they're going to be all set. That's all they need from this group. Let's go ahead and go through our top 5 players in the division, and then we'll go ahead and give our full breakdown of division standings. Caden, I'm going to let you start it off and go with our number 5 player.
yeah, this one's tough. No disrespect for honorable mentions on this list and where you're located on this list. I feel like they're all pretty interchangeable. But five, I have Miles Garrett. Um, I I don't know. I just have him there. I think there's another edge rusher that's better than him in the division, and then some other positions I have are just a little bit more valuable in my opinion. So I have Miles Garrett at five, even though he's one of the best defensive players in the league.
Yeah, that's definitely a very valid spot for Miles Garrett. I believe there was a list that came out the other day. I don't know if it was CBS or some sort of website that does these top 100 player rankings, and then Miles Garrett actually number one. Which I don't know if I'd have him there, but it's just kind of a
Mhm.
subjective thing, especially comparing like a defensive end to a quarterback or
Right.
defensive end to a receiver. But we're gonna do it anyways. Number 5 for me is going to be Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry, you know, incredible last year for this team. A lot of people kind of count him out like he's gonna be too old, too many carries on his body. But man, he just went out there and killed the
Mhm.
game, 2,000 yards. Dog, you know, incredible stuff from him. So
Yeah.
have to have him in the list, and he's only number 5. That just shows how good
Right.
this division is. So
Yeah, that's something I ran into is like trying to rank are they the best quarterback in the league? Or are they the best edge rusher in the league? Trying to compare that across, sides.
yeah,
But at number four, I have I think the best edge rusher in the division, T.J. Watt. I think he just does so much in the pass game and run game too, outside of just getting sacks and fumbles that really put him above Miles, especially that pass game where he can drop back. He's got a couple interceptions. He's got a lot of pass deflections. So I have him slightly above Miles Garrett for the number four spot in the division.
yeah. TJ is also my number 4. Typical years, I would have him even a little bit higher on this list. Like after his 2023 season, 19 sacks, he was incredible that year, and he was also great last year. But just
Yeah.
production was a little bit down compared to the year prior. Yeah, he's a dog. I think TJ is a guy that anyone that has him on your team, you're so pumped, so excited. But whenever you have to play against this guy, you got to throw double teams at him. You got to know where he is at all times.
Hmm.
Yeah, one of the best edge rushers in the game for sure.
My number three is going to be Joe Burrow.
Oh, okay.
I have him at 3 because it's debatable if he's, 2 through 4. Really depends on who you ask at this point, where he's ranked in the top quarterbacks. Um, but I have him at number 3 in my ranking.
Nice. And number 3 for me is Joe Burrow's teammate in Jamar Chase. Got Jamar Chase number 3. He was incredible last year. One of the most exciting players in the league. Another guy you have to know where he is at all times. He's a downfield threat. He's got quickness, route running. He just makes any team he's on just so much higher ceiling, and
Hmm.
especially if you pair him with, in my opinion, probably the second best quarterback in the league in Joe Burrow, second or third best quarterback, fourth. I mean, 2 through 4 are kind of
Yeah.
interchangeable in my opinion. But if when you join one of the best quarterbacks, one of the best receivers, it is just incredible to watch. So
Hmm.
I had to have him on this list, and I decided to put him at number 3.
Nice. Yeah, my number 2 is going to be Lamar Jackson, just ahead of Burrow because he's got the head-to-head to him.
Mm-hmm.
He's got 2 MVPs. Potentially should have been a third.
Yeah.
Um, hasn't quite got over the hump in the playoffs in terms of getting to a Super Bowl, winning an AFC Championship. Um, but again, just an otherworldly talent. So I have him at number 2, and I feel like him and Burrow are pretty interchangeable, which is why I kind of put them together.
Yeah, definitely. Number 2 for me is Lamar Jackson, one of the best in the league we have today. I love Lamar. Uh, One of the best passers in the league, one of the best rushers. I think he was MVP last year. I think he should still have 2. I
Hmm.
hate when in the NFL we have the situation where it's like, and I understand it to an extent, like a team is slightly better. Say a team goes 13-6, another team goes 10-7, or 13-4, and the 13-4 quarterback has less numbers, but it's like, oh, his team did better.
Yeah.
I think we almost like went too far that way, rather than just pure stats, what their impact is to the team. Um, so I
Well, I
think
think
Lamar should have won last year, but the year before that, I think his last MVP, I don't think he
mhm,
should have won that
that's
personally.
where I think the problem for
Yeah.
at least this past season occurred was it was like what you're talking about, but it
Yeah.
was the same 2 quarterbacks that flip flopped.
Mhm.
So it was like, well, you can't give it to Lamar again because we didn't give to Josh Allen last year for doing the same thing. And it's like, well, then you can't. It was dumb. I think hopefully
Yeah.
after the season, like that kind of situation doesn't happen again, where they just get it right. Um,
Hey, Caden, stay
yeah.
like right there by the mic.
Okay.
Yeah, just there you go. Yeah, it just sounds better.
It's all
It's
right.
it's it's weird. We'll talk about it after, but it might be like this. You know how the mic has settings
Yeah.
in terms of, I think it might be that like close one where you have to be like right next to it type of thing.
Got it.
But yeah, Lamar's incredible. I love Lamar. I think some of the media just, I don't say hate necessarily, but like um critiques from the media against him are kind of unfair, because he really has been absolutely incredible his whole career. He has had some playoff letdowns. I think it goes without saying, but overall, he's just been an incredible player. Um, he kind of reminds me of like Aaron Judge, in
Yeah.
terms of, I don't think he's been quite as bad. Aaron Judge has been abysmal in the playoffs, and I think
Yeah.
Lamar was a lot better last year in the playoffs.
Yeah.
But number 1, Caden, who do you have at
I have
number 1 spot?
Jamar Chase at number
Okay.
1. My reasoning here is, Lamar and Burrow are pretty flip floppable. Um, but Jamar Chase, I think, is the best wide receiver in football. Just came off a triple crown.
Yeah.
Um, like you said, I think he's really good at just about everything. Even after the catch, like once you like have 5 guys in front of him, he can still score.
I love
Um,
Five Guys.
so that's why I have Jamar Chase number 1. I think he's the best receiver in football, and it avoids me putting Lamar or Burrow at number 1.
Yeah. Number 1 for me is Joe Burrow. Um,
That dog.
I think is 1A, 1B, uh, for Lamar and Burrow. Like you can put them either way.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Lamar, I think, has been a better regular season quarterback, and Burrow a little bit better in the playoffs. But both of them have just had incredible careers. And Burrow, leading up to last year, was probably a little bit low, maybe the lowest I've been on him since his run to the Super Bowl. But it was mostly because, he just had struggled with injuries. 2023 wasn't quite as good as I expected, but last year he had his best year of his career.
which is
And
crazy coming off that unheard of wrist surgery for a quarterback, and he just came out there and
yeah,
performed week in and week out. And
yeah,
I think Lamar and Burrow, which is a weird comparison. You talk about playoff success and regular season success.
mhm.
I feel like both of them, their teams aren't coming up short because of them. There are other factors into it. Lamar, you have
Yeah,
some bad turnovers, but you have Mark Andrews dropping the ball. You have Mark Andrews fumbling the ball. The defense not getting turnovers. Joe Burrow, you get to points where your defense doesn't even show up, and people fumble all the time. And it's just like one of those where there's 11 guys on the field at one time, and it's not all on one guy to win or lose a game. Um, so yeah.
yeah. I thought Lamar was great in that Buffalo game last year.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Especially that in the second half was great.
yeah, he was really, really great in that second half. It was just kind of unfortunate. You
Mm-hmm.
had the Mark Andrews drop. Just a couple of things don't go your way, and yeah, just it's tough for them. But overall, just two great quarterbacks. I'm excited to see them battle out again this year. Let's go ahead and jump in. Quick, I had Miles Garrett just off my list. He was number 6 for me. A couple other honorable mentions. You got to include guys like
Kyle Hamilton,
Kyle Hamilton, Patrick Queen, now a Steeler. Like Jalen Ramsey. Uh,
Cam Hayward, maybe
Cam
Highsmith.
Cam Hayward has honestly half of Pittsburgh's defense.
Yeah, Trey Hendrickson, I feel like can
Trey
fight for
Hendrickson
that
has to
with
be in the
sack titles.
combo. Trying to think of anyone else who we haven't talked about a whole ton. I like Zay Flowers. I mean, I don't think he's quite in that top 5 conversation, but
It's
he's
kind of
pretty good.
early, but
Yeah,
Jair Alexander.
Jared Alexander. That's valid as well. And then Chris Boswell was really good last year, right?
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
pretty good.
Chris Boswell.
Yeah,
Denzel Ward. He's one of my guys. I love Denzel
he's
Ward.
so good, dude.
Yeah. Let's jump into it. Number 4 for me is going to be Cleveland.
Same here. 4-13.
4-13, I think's a little wild. I have them at 6-11, and I could see them being better, honestly. But I just think the division's so tough, and the QB play. When I just look at their pure roster, I'm like, damn, this team could be pretty good. I can see them make
Mhm.
playoffs, and then it's like, what's going to go on at quarterback? I like
Quarterback.
Shadur. I
I'm not
think
a
he
big
could be
fan of their running
decent.
back situation. They have
Yeah,
one
running
good
backs.
receiver. Offensive line struggled a lot last year. The defense did
They
not
were
look good
worse.
last
They
year.
were worse than expected.
Yeah.
Okay. You might have talked me out of it. And it's
But
the
again,
Browns.
that defense could be top 5 next year. Like, it's so volatile. And with how many good guys they have on that defense,
Yeah.
they could turn it around.
And Graham. I think Graham, excuse me. I mean, I would rather they got Travis Hunter, but the trade was pretty good for them overall.
Mhm.
It did add a lot. And Mason Graham is not a bad second option there.
No, not at all. Especially if you
He's
get draft
awesome.
capital out of it. Like,
Yeah. You got their linebacker, what's his name? Jeremiah.
don't know.
Yeah. And it has a long name after. I can't
Yeah.
pronounce it. But man, he's great. I'm excited to see this team though. I'm rooting for Shadur. I kind of like Shadur, man. I don't know how well he's gonna adjust to the NFL game. I think he could be a solid option in his career. Once he gets to the peak of his career, I think he'd be like an average quarterback in the league. I think he is a pretty smart quarterback. He's able to take hits, probably a little bit too much.
Yeah.
Mobility's not all there. The arm strength is probably a little bit of a question mark, but the accuracy is very, very good.
I think
Um,
if he can figure out just, maybe not be a deep threat passer, but getting the ball out on time and becoming really good pre-snap, identifying coverages,
yeah,
shifting the line, that kind of thing, I think he can he can be a very good quarterback.
Yeah, I'm pulling for sure. I like him. I mean, obviously, he's a guy that he's in the media a lot because he's Dion's son. Like
Yeah,
he's done some music and stuff. And
drives a little
he's
too fast.
what happened with him driving? Did he speed too?
Yeah, he went 101 miles an hour in a 55 before training camp.
Where where at?
Cleveland.
Highway?
Yep.
Interesting.
Yeah. No, he's gotten 2 speeding tickets, which it happens. That's not like it wasn't like he was impaired or anything. But I mean, the
Yeah.
running back that they drafted has not signed to the team. But
The Quinshawn
yeah, he's in
situation is a little
trouble.
rough.
But next up, I have the Pittsburgh Steelers. Like I said, going 9-8, finishing third in this division. Don't think
I'm
they're going to
going
be bad.
10-7, same spot for me.
Yeah.
Yep.
Second, I have the Bengals. I have them going 12-5. Just looking at their schedule, I think it's a pretty good start to the season. The middle of it gets pretty difficult, but middle to late season they really turn it on every year. And I think they're going to do the same exact thing. So I think 12-5, maybe even 11-6 is serviceable, and I think they're
Yeah.
back in the playoffs.
I have real quick on Pittsburgh. I'll hit on them quick.
Mm-hmm.
We kind of discussed it. Awesome defense. I think they're gonna be really good this year. The problem is I just think the Bengals and Ravens are gonna be a bit better.
Yeah.
I'm really like I've kind of turned into. I used to hate Pittsburgh. Used to hate the Steelers
Mm-hmm.
because as a Patriots fan, we had a little bit of a rivalry with them.
Yeah.
Ben Roethlisberger, bad dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, wasn't a big fan of them. But man, they're such a good defense. They have some exciting weapons on offensive end. One of the biggest. Who am I going to say, Caden? He's not with the team anymore. But who is one guy that used to play for Pittsburgh that I absolutely love?
That used to play. Oh, Najee.
Najee Harris, baby, my guy. I'll take him in fan. I still remember me
Hey,
and
no injury
Caden.
problems in Pittsburgh, and then goes to Los Angeles once and gets a firework in his eye.
Yeah, that's bro. I would if I. Did he get hit by the firework himself, or did someone shoot at him?
I don't know that part of the story.
Because I'd kick that guy's butt.
Yeah.
I would defend Najee with my life. Anyways, I still remember selecting him number one in one of our dynasty leagues we did, which like kind of dissolved pretty quickly.
Yeah.
But that was in hindsight probably not the best decision. But man, I just like the dude. He's usually a good dude, and he's out there. He's
Yeah.
reliable and to get a couple yards at least.
Yeah.
But I really like Pittsburgh. I have the Ravens at number 2. Ravens at 11-6. We kind of discussed it earlier with the Lamar thing. Love Lamar. I'm really excited for this offense. Derrick Henry, Zay Flowers. I think they have some really, really solid weapons, which
Yeah.
Lamar didn't really have earlier on in his career. I think the offense is in a really good spot. And I like the defense as well. Maybe not as much as Pittsburgh, but I think it's going to be really, really solid. I'm interested to see what Jair Alexander is going to do over there as well.
Yeah,
So,
me too.
number 1 for me. Now, I'll let you do number 1 first. You go
Number
ahead and
one,
hit
I have
Ravens.
Baltimore 13-4. I think it's going to look very similar to last season. Really good defense. I think their defense will be better throughout the whole season. Last year, the start was bad. First 8 weeks, they were like the worst passing defense. But I think they figured it out. I think the offense is going to be really good again. A top 5 offense as well. I think there's going to be 2 top 5 offenses in this division.
Yeah.
And I just think they might have a bit of an easier path. Yeah, so I think they get a game lead over the Bengals and finish 13-4.
Heck yeah, dude. Can't really dispute you on that one. I am actually going to go. If you remember when we did this last year, I was on the totally opposite end
I
of
was
the
gonna say
spectrum
I'm a
here.
little worried. Like you
I have the Bengals at 11-6.
What you have the Ravens at?
I am at 11-6, but I just
Okay.
had like the Bengals and the
Tiebreaker.
tiebreaker, however it worked out. In the app we use, Playoff Predictor.
Yeah.
They don't even pay us, but go use it. Great website, one of my favorites.
Yeah.
I think the Bengals are going to be slightly better on the offense or defensive end, and going to be similar offensively next year. Man,
I'm so excited for
I just
Chase
feel like it's
Brown.
one of those things. The Bengals remind me of like the Red Sox a little bit in terms of their trajectory year to year. They're really, really great. And they're like, what the heck happened? Like,
Hmm.
why were they so shaky this year? And then they're great. And I
Yeah.
feel like it's gonna be a really good bounce back year this season. I think the run game's gonna be really solid with Chase Brown.
Yeah,
I
I'm
think they're
excited
not
for
gonna
him.
be necessarily as explosive offensively, but they're gonna be able to manage the game a little bit better.
Hmm.
It's gonna be a little bit slower paced. The defense is gonna be able to make some stops here and there. Not all the time. I'm not saying that.
Nope.
But I think it's going to be able to be a little bit more realistic in terms of their offense. Joe's not going to have to throw the ball 55 times.
Yeah.
It's going to be a little bit more of a level thing, and they're going to be able to manage or have a little bit more time of play with their offense. I like this team a lot. I think they're going to be really solid this year. I do think they're going to lose to my Patriots again, though, baby. Let's go.
I think what I'm excited for is we saw it last year, Joe kind of speaking up, using his voice, and I think the guys in the locker room really respect him. Um, so I think it's like I think I've seen it and I've heard the urgency this year in camp has been a lot higher. Um, like what happened last season can never happen again. He's having, whew, hopefully, his first fully healthy season from training camp to end of season. Last year, he
Knock
had the
on
wrist
wood.
rehab he had to deal with. But I think if they get going early, like if they start out 2-0, I would watch out. But
Yeah.
yeah,
I
I'm trying to deter my optimism for a little bit just to make sure. But
valid. I
I
think
do
it really
have
comes down to if they can start off like okay,
yeah. If it I just we can't go 0-2. Like if we go one and
yeah,
one, 3-2, 4-2,
yeah.
I'm okay.
If you guys can start off, I think if you make it through like week 4 or 5, 3-2, 2-2, like at least 500, I think you're gonna be okay because
Yeah.
you always kind of kick it up a notch later on in the year.
Hmm.
Um, I'm very interested to see what happens with Zach Taylor. Um,
Hmm.
I think they have a similar season to last year. I think if they make the wild card and lose in the first round, I think I'd seriously consider firing him.
He's definitely on the block. I think not like
Yeah,
super hot seat, but I think it's one of those where you got to take the pulse of the fans, and it's like, is it Zach Taylor that's getting them success, or is it on Joe Burrow? And I'm really curious to see that. But I will say, not to spoil anything, but my three division winners in the AFC minus the AFC South all are 13-4.
wow.
Yeah, that's probably not possible, but
I forgot about last pod. You had the Patriots at 13-4.
somewhat close to that.
I had them at 12-5. I can't help myself, man. Come
He
on
was, I
now.
mean,
Christian Gonzalez was limping the other day
I
at
was
training camp, though.
I was
Just
looking at yeah, but
terrified.
it's been hot. Um,
Yeah.
but I will say like I've heard I've heard people say they'll be 7-10. I've heard people say they'll be 13-4. Like it really is what happens with Drake May and Stephon Diggs and who is it? Kyle Williams.
Kyle Williams, baby.
Yeah, I think if those
It's
guys
not,
turn it on, there's no reason why they can't. Like the Patriots aren't, or the Jets aren't very good. The Dolphins might
bro.
not be very good.
Travion Henderson, I'm so excited for him.
Dude, you're gonna love them.
You don't understand. Like,
Such
when
a
we
good
picked
dude too.
I wanted Burden in the draft, but when we picked Travion Henderson, I'm like, okay, that's okay. This guy's. I'm not even like. Here's the thing. Like, I usually don't like Ohio State. You know that.
Hmm.
I usually pull for Michigan a little more, but I liked last year's team. Like, I was a really big fan of Travion Henderson.
Yeah.
I mean, Jeremiah Smith, super exciting. I liked a lot of those players. Um, yeah, I'm so excited for that, man. I think the defense could be really, really good. It sounds like Jalen Polk's out. Sounds like
I
he's
think
out.
he's done. I think he's done. I think it
He,
might be
li- he
cut.
literally said something in an Instagram caption that
Yep.
he's like, "I'm out." I'm
Yeah.
like, "What?
Yeah.
What do you mean by that, sir?"
I mean, he's been injured.
Yeah.
So maybe that's what it was. But I think I have not heard good things from the beat reporters
Uh,
from New England.
it's awful too, man, because he had a couple years or a couple games early on in the year last year. Or it's not like crazy stats, but you saw really good flashes. You're like, wow,
Hmm.
this guy has footwork, great hands, and then it just all fell apart. And I feel like his confidence fell apart as well. Yeah, it's just definitely a frustrating situation there.
For sure.
Yeah. Let's go ahead. I'm going to introduce one more segment here for the division predictions. Who is one player that's a little bit under the radar who is going to have their breakout season for the 2025-26 season?
Ooh, breakouts.
Yes.
I would be inclined to be the homer pick, and I think Chase Brown.
Chase Brown? I got you.
I
And
think
this
he's
can be
so
anyone. This
underrated.
can be like a guy who's like a Pro Bowler last year, but now he's going from 900 yards to 1,600 or something. Or it can be a guy off the bench who steps up and is great.
I would
Um,
say the players. I'll do one for each team
yeah.
to keep an eye on.
Yeah, I
I
like that. I
think
like that.
I'll do two for each team. I think the Bengals. I'm gonna go Chase Brown on offense,
Hmm.
Dax Hill on defense. Um, Steelers. I would say um, Roman Wilson on offense, and on defense. I mean, who do they have on defense that's not already
You
like
could say someone like who's the other?
Joey
This is
Porter
my
Jr.?
problem. I'll probably only do one for each team
Yeah,
because
maybe I'll say Joey Porter Jr. He'll cut down on the penalties.
yeah,
Um, Baltimore, I will say, oof, Baltimore offense. Say Flowers.
yeah, I like it.
Um, Defense, nobody because they all are very good already. Um, and then who am I missing? The Browns.
Browns.
Breakout for the Browns. Defense, I'm gonna say. I think Denzel Ward gets back to what he's used to doing.
Hmm.
And offensively, I think, God, dude, who do you pick on offense?
You could also do a rookie. You could go ahead and plant a stake in one of the quarterbacks or
No,
running
I don't.
backs.
I don't. Who do they have at running back that's on the team?
Yeah,
Um.
Dylan Sampson. He's there, right?
Oh, Harold Fannin Jr. I think
That's a
he's
good
gonna
one.
be a stud.
I got to interview Harold Fannin
Yeah, you
Jr.
did.
That was fun. He was a very nice guy.
Yeah, I think he'll be really good.
Yeah, yeah, he was very cool. You can kind of tell. I won't name names, but you interviewed certain people, and they're like, wow, they're like just genuinely like really nice and
Yeah.
kind. I messed up one question with another person, and he just like looked at me like, "What? What are you talking about?" Like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It felt judgy, but
Felt judgy.
yeah, yeah. For me, let's go with the Browns real quick. I think, I think for the Browns, I think Shadur is going to show some flashes. I think he's going to get some opportunities. Not say he's going to be great, but I think he's actually going to look decent. You know, I think he might lead a couple game-winning drives. That's going to be an exciting storyline all over the sports media world.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have to go with. I'll go one for each. I I like Baltimore a lot with Zay Flowers.
Mm-hmm.
That's my guy. I was really excited for him coming out because that's just such a cool name. It's kind of it. And he's kind of lived up to it. He was really, really solid last year. I could see him getting 12, 13, 1,400 yards this season. Very excited to see what happens with him over there. Go to the Bengals. Let's go ahead and talk about Jermaine Burton a little bit. I think he could have a
Mm.
really good season. I've been hearing some really good things out of training camp for him.
Yeah.
So go ahead and keep him listed in mind. Then
That's like okay. So while you
go
think
ahead
about
and
the other ones, I just as a Bengals fan, I know a little more about the Bengals,
yeah.
the roster wise, but like the wide receiver three battle is going to be insane. Wide
Him
receiver
and
three,
Yoshi Bosch, right?
yeah, you have Andre Yoshivas, you have Jermaine Burton, Charlie Jones has been okay. We have a new guy, don't know his name, but he's been really good in camp, and it's just there's a lot of guys to fill that one spot, and I'm really curious to see who comes out. But if it can be Jermaine Burton, like I think why I'm cheering for him is because he is a guy you can put on the boundary and go deep,
Mhm.
put Jamar Chase in the slot, and then T on the outside as well. And T catches just about everything that comes his way. So he can run that like intermediate route, and then Jamar Chase can just be set free.
Yeah. For me, you know who I think's gonna have a breakout season, man. You know who I think's gonna have
Who?
one of them seasons. Give me Peyton Wilson, right inside linebacker for the Pittsburgh Steelers,
He's good.
baby. One of my draft guys of a couple years ago. Um, him and Alex Highsmith, honestly. I like
Hmm.
Highsmith was the other guy I was thinking of in terms of rushers for Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Darius Slay. Oh my, Ken, this defense is disgusting.
Slay's cooked, bro. Joey Porter Jr. can't keep his hands to himself.
Is Slay cooked?
Yeah,
Tell me.
he's
Okay,
cooked.
more of an offensive guy. Um,
Like I
but
don't think
even
the
with
defense
that
isn't
being
going to be
said,
bad.
man,
I think the defense will be good, but I just think Slay's cooked.
like this team is disgusting. Like, go ahead and take him out. Joey
Jalen
Porter
Ramsey.
Jr., like, love him or hate him, he does have some penalty issues, but I think he still is like really good. He's just a little too handsy.
But I mean,
Um,
if you bracket him with Jalen Ramsey, he won't
yeah,
have to do it.
yeah. You have some man that Patrick Queen, Peyton Wilson, Alex Highsmith, T.J. Watt, disgusting.
Yeah.
And then of course you go to Cameron Hayward, Keanu Benton, and then Derek Harmon or like Harmon as well. Like Jack Sawyer. You've got some depth on this team too. Damn, I'm getting excited just looking at this defense right now. But I'm gonna go with Peyton Wilson as the sleeper guy for this team. Um, let's go ahead and wrap it up with the football, unless you have any more thoughts, and just hit
No.
on Happy Gilmore too, real quick.
Yeah, we'll do it really quick. After this, I'm gonna be packing up my apartment.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, people are hating on it.
What would you give it out of 5 stars?
Uh it's a subjective rating. I say 5 out of 5 because I know what it was going into it. It fit
Okay.
exactly what I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was going to be a masterpiece. I thought it was going to be Happy Gilmore 2. It's going to be a lot of cameos. It's going to be a lot of flashbacks, and it's going to be entertaining. And it met all of that criteria. So
Yeah. I think it was really solid. I give it a 3.5 out of 5. I love the cameos. I thought it was really funny in parts. I love Shooter McGavin. He's hilarious. And I really like that him and Happy were like together for this round because you can kind of see like Shooter like had like a good heart. I feel like he just got way into the competitive nature of the sport.
I mean, if you saw how Happy Gilmore was playing golf, like that would drive me crazy too. If I was one of the best golfers in the
Oh
world,
yeah.
and this guy just is putting it in off a water tower.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And he likes to talk about it too. He's a trash talker. Um, but I would say the one part I had a kind of issue with, I wish it was more of a traditional like majors, final Sunday at a majors and Happy was there again. I think that would have
Yeah,
been a little more like felt a little more grandiose in a sense.
no, they're just
Um,
making fun of live golf.
but I guess it was kind of a thing where it's like, oh, well, they were making fun of this new type of golf, how stupid it was. That was kind of
Hmm.
the point.
With
Um,
Bryson DeChambeau and Brooks Koepka in the movie.
I was gonna say it was very ironic that they were the teams going
Mhm.
against this new golf league, which was essentially live golf.
Yeah, because it was Rory who was the biggest hater of it.
Yeah,
It's Bryson and Brooks who were like the villains,
and Scotty,
and
right?
then Scotty who got arrested again.
That was one of my favorite parts
That
in
was
the
so
movie.
funny.
That
Not
was so
again.
good, bro. I loved all four of those golfers were hilarious. Like I
Hmm.
loved their Those were probably my favorite cameos out of the bunch. Bad
I like,
Bunny was great. Bad Bunny was
yeah,
hilarious. Um,
I
there
liked
was a ton of good ones. Almost
Xander.
kind of
Xander Schauffele is pretty funny. Him and Morikawa and Ricky
yeah.
Fowler.
Yeah, they were really good. I liked that Brooks and Bryson were together. It kind of made me happy.
Yeah.
Like,
Jack Nicklaus. He's like, no,
yeah,
I'm not Arnold Palmer.
yeah. There was some crazy. I mean, like Kelsey was in it, right?
Hmm.
Some of the bigger Bad Bunny, one of the
Eminem.
biggest music artists in the world. Say again.
Eminem.
Oh yeah, Eminem was in it. Like, see,
Yeah.
look at this. Eminem, one of the biggest parts in it.
Yeah.
He was great. Yeah, it was just a fun time overall. Um, Yeah, I enjoyed it. Benny Safdie, incredible as
Mhm.
like the villain live runner. You know what I'm
Yeah.
talking about? Like the boss guy.
Ben Stiller was back.
Ben Stiller, incredible. Like you could go ahead and I watched the video. There was 70 like celebrity and actor and musician cameos. Like it was crazy.
I will say, I think my favorite part was the end where they were in the AA meeting and um, the girl's like, "You remind me a lot of my dad," because it is her dad. That was Adam Sandler's daughter.
Right. There was two of them in it, right?
Yeah, he had his wife. His
Yeah.
wife was in it. His daughter was
Yeah.
in it. Yeah, it was
Good
very good.
stuff. You love to see it. Yeah, it was just a fun time.
Mhm.
One of the It's great to see a comedy sports movie. I feel like they don't come around a lot anymore.
Right.
Um, it was a good time, and yeah, would recommend going to see it. And you don't have to go anywhere; you can watch it on Netflix. But yeah, that's all I got for the episode,
Yeah.
Mr. Caden.
All right. Our next podcast will probably be me in Cincinnati. So
Yes,
it'll be a
Ken's moving
different
to
background.
Cincinnati.
Yeah, pumped
Be
up.
even further apart.
Sad.
Tear
It's okay.
eye.
It's still like a flight. So like,
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's not like we're in driving. I mean, we are in driving distance, but like not in a reasonable time.
right, right. Yeah.
So, all right. Thank you, everyone, for listening. Adios, friends.
See ya.